Welcome back to Halftime on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com here on this feel-free, fun Friday phoning in day. I lost it there. I was perfect on it every rejoin up until this one. I think it's because I'm just so excited to get to talk to the next guest, the guy that I got to talk to every week back in Memphis, Tennessee, Brent Beaird from Jacksonville, Florida, college football analyst for First Coast News, Heisman voter down in Jacksonville. Brent, how you doing today?
Well, I will equal that same excitement because headed toward Birmingham and Hoover coming up in just a few days. Should be a lot of fun, guys. It always is. Looking forward to hearing what the coaches say on day one. That's a pretty good lineup with Dan Mullen, Ed Orgeron, and Shane Beamer as they get us going on Monday.
Yeah, and starting with that first group of coaches, and obviously you being there in Gator country, what are the expectations for Dan Mullen? I think that we all can agree out of the East teams, Georgia, I think, has the most pressure on them. It'd be followed by Florida. So what kind of pressure does Dan Mullen and the Gators have this year?
Well, I think the pressure would be, can Florida have back-to-back Eastern Division titles? And frankly, no one believes in them for that to happen. And I think that's fairly logical because of Emory Jones coming in at quarterback, has not played a lot. We know that he is more what Mullen wants in a dual-threat quarterback than what he had in Kyle Trask, but gosh, guys, it's going to be hard to duplicate Kyle Trask's production and how accurate that he was. There's some folks here that even believe Anthony Richardson, the backup, may end up being the quarterback before it's over. Really good running back room for the Gators with Damian Pierce, Malik Davis, and that crew. A lot depends on the offensive line. The defense, merciful heavens, has to be better, and particularly with Antonio Shelton and Daquan Newkirk, the transfers from Penn State and from Auburn. But I tell you guys, I think the other thing for Mullen, and I think he'll be asked about this, is his own behavior. I mean, dressing up as Darth Vader on Halloween, I think most people just kind of chuckled at that. What they didn't chuckle at was Mullen starting a near riot at the beginning of halftime in the Missouri game, and also coming out after the Orange Bowl loss and calling his team a scout team after they lost.
And he didn't care.
Oklahoma. So that's kind of what we're dealing with Dan Mullen.
Yeah, he has been, I think, almost like a 180 turn since he's got to Florida. I don't really remember any of this type of behavior when he was there in Starkville. And the first-time guy that we're going to see at South Carolina, Shane Beamer. How do you expect him to handle his first SEC media days? And while you're on Shane, just kind of the other three, or I believe, eight. We're having 8 new coaches or 7 new coaches to SEC media days. How do you think all of them will handle it?
Well, that's a good question. I think that's always part of the excitement of media days. You just see how the new coaches are going to do. Now, I've heard some other analysts, even as recent as today, talk about the South Carolina team. It's not going to be a good first year, and I get that. I think that makes a lot of sense. Beamer just coming in, I think he's done well with recruiting, but at the same time, he is going to need it. If they can just develop something, guys, on offense, that would be a real help for them. Luke Doty at quarterback is going to be interesting. Kevin Harris is a really good running back. One of the better ones. Nick Muse at the tight end, one of the better tight ends. So you've got Beamer, and then you've got Josh Heupel at Tennessee coming from UCF. Now, look, I think Heupel will they'll be much better offensively. I mean, look, the four of us could be the OC up there, and it would be better than it was last year. But defensively, I'm not sure they'll be able to stop anybody either. Clark Lee at Vanderbilt. I mean, gosh, I think the main thing with Vandy is they're putting $300 million in their facilities, which is, shall we say, about time. I think that President Kennedy was in office last time they did something in that stadium. And then on Thursday, you've got Brian Harsin at Auburn. People are going to be very interested to see how he deals with the media guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's dealt with, I'm sure, media obviously before. But look, when you step into that print room, now they won't have as many as they normally do, like 500, as in past years because of restrictions. But it will be fascinating, will it not, to see how all these guys handle their first time in front of the media.
It is going to be interesting to see, and it's also going to be interesting, I think, of how guys are going to, try to present themselves to try to play. Are they going to be straight-laced? Are they going to be the Nick Sabans, or do they want to follow more of another two guys who are going to make not their first season, but their first appearance at SEC Media Days? They want to be like a Mike Leach who just goes off and says anything random without really being asked, or Lane Kiffin, who definitely knows how to crack a joke.
Oh yeah, and those guys are always tremendous. I still think we're going to get Mike Leach show up with a guitar and a Jimmy Buffett outfit.
Oh, I sure hope so.
But look, Leach is smart cookie, and they will be better as it goes along. They actually got a little bit better at the end of the year. Kiffin, I think, knows that they're going to be better. Their offense, Matt Corral, who may be the best quarterback in the league, I think will be very impressive. They've got to continue to improve defensively. Is going to be the big deal there. And again, we know what we will get out of Jimbo Fisher. It will be pretty much as an auctioneer would, and trying to keep up with Jimbo as fast as he speaks. I've always felt sorry for the people who are doing the verbatims when Jimbo is talking. We certainly know a lot of expectation questions for Kirby Smart and guys besides Go Tigers. The other thing with Ed Orgeron is going to be the big thing is how will Ed handle the Title IX situation? And I'm guessing that he will have some kind of a statement early on in all his media appearances that says something to the effect of, it's an ongoing investigation, so I can't comment. Right. Otherwise, all the questions will be about the Title IX investigation.
As they probably should be, because we don't really know all the details, and we know that they know, and we kind of want to know. We're speaking with Brent Beaird, from college football analyst for First Coast News in Jacksonville, Florida, Heisman voter. You can follow him on Twitter at Brent Beaird. Brent, you brought up Matt Corral, and I think coming off of the great season that he had with Lane Kiffin, he should be in the conversation, if not the number one quarterback in the SEC. Behind that, it's JT Daniels probably, and then a lot of unknown. Who would you put maybe in a tier one as a third guy?
Listen, that's a great question. Maybe Connor Basilak at Missouri. And now we've got what we think are going to be a lot of really good quarterbacks eventually in the league. I think we all think Bryce Young would be good for Alabama, but we've still got to be able to see that. Now, will Bo Nix be better at Auburn? We don't know. Bo can be really good, and Bo can be really bad, often on the same play or on the same series of downs. So a lot of that we just don't know. Again, there's so many of these schools that we really don't know who is going to be behind the center, as opposed to the ACC that pretty much everybody has a really good quarterback, like Sam Howell at North Carolina. But listen, guys, are you aware? And we cover FSU here, and I won't tear on this long, but you've got many schools in the SEC that are not taking a quarterback. Florida State's taking two.
I did see that. I was going to get you to ask your opinion on it. Well, is this a smart move by Mike Norvell to not only throw off the trail of the opposing teams, the media, but also his own players.
Norvell's a really good coach, and I think that will eventually happen. Now, are we going to see the Mackenzie Milton that threw for 9,000 yards at UCF? And look, Jordan Travis is really good, too. Mm-hmm. Travis is a good dual-threat guy. Also, and again, Derek King at Miami is another guy to think about, and especially with them playing Alabama. But I think as far as the SEC is concerned, guys, I mean, it's just a crapshoot right now with where we're going to be in the conference. Now, again, next year we'll be talking about all these experienced quarterbacks who are coming back. Mm-hmm. But right now, we just don't have it now. LSU's in a good situation with Miles Brennan and Max Johnson, who are really very good. Look, whoever starts for LSU, the backup could start, guys, couldn't he? For about half the teams in the league.
Yeah, they probably could, because you're like you said, there are just so many question marks around how these guys are going to perform and how they're really going to shape as SEC quarterbacks. Brent, I'm going to leave you with kind of a last two questions before we have to let you go. We are somewhat up against the break. What do you expect from Sam Pittman in Arkansas, and also what's your favorite part about SEC Media Days?
Well, just catching up with a lot of media friends. There are always funny things that happen. I mean, you had Lou Holtz one year at South Carolina, didn't show up, mm-hmm. spoke to a speaker. You had Steve Spurrier with Roy Kramer, the commissioner, in the back of the room say, Commissioner, why don't we have a playoff yet? So, you'll have the things of that nature. Look, I love Pittman. I really do. Now, obviously, Felipe Franks was here at Florida, then he transferred there. But I can tell you, if they're able to make as much progress this year as they did last year, now, look, the record may not show it yet, but if people are patient there with Pittman, I think you're going to have a winner sooner than later.
I think everybody would love to have that exact thing happen. Brent, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy SEC Media Days. Tell Ty and Ruskin, who are going to be down there for us, hi, and make sure you tell good old Brett Norsworthy that I said hello when you get there.
I will. Absolutely, guys. Appreciate you having me on.
Appreciate it, Brent. That's Brent Beaird, college football analyst from First Coast News in Jacksonville, Florida, and Heisman voter. You can follow him on Twitter at Brent Beaird. When we come back, we have the Duma of the week. We'll get into some more of your text. If you have any more ideas about where me and the missus should do for the next week, because it's a lot of entertainment.
You're married?
Me and the Miss Girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Mrs. Ball and Chain. It can be marriage.
First,
it can be marriage.
At first, I found out y'all are expecting children.
We're not expecting children. No. We're not. What we should probably be doing this week. Also, sequel ideas and whatever else you want to talk about. We'll be right back.